Hi everybody, and welcome to Raising Vibrations with myself, Simon. Today, everyone, I'm excited to be bringing you this series on Pluto, and this is the second Pluto series that I'm actually doing. This is a complete revamp of the original series that was really successful, to be honest. And it was one of the first series that I did that really introduced me to YouTube. I really felt that it offered a lot of information to a lot of souls that were trying to understand the nature of Pluto and the astrology, and to really be able to grasp and get a stronger definition on it. So what I thought was to actually create another series that's pretty much the same as the previous one, but there is a more intuitive process that I'm going to be adding to this series in that way, and kind of offering a little bit more of a deeper sense of awareness that is associated with this placement, and to actually be able to do three main things. Firstly, to get everybody to recognize that when you're looking at Pluto in your astrology chart, it's really important to honor the fact that when you're trying to understand astrology, or at least your astrology chart, you're not looking at definitions of who you are, okay? You're not trying to have personal identities and so on and so forth. And this is, oh, I have Mars in Cancer, and so therefore I'm soft and nurturing and cuddly. That's not what you really should be looking for, in my opinion, okay? What you can truly get out of your astrology chart is when you start to see it as this multi-dimensional, multi-layered like pattern of stories that exists. So imagine that that's the beginning point. And as I expand out like that, those are lives and lives and lives and stories and stories and stories. And they're kind of like just layered like that. And so if I had to switch this like this, for instance, and look at it like that, I'd have millions of my like little hands in a line like that. And you could see straight through it in that way. And these layers, these archetypes offer us deep gateways, deep pieces of information that allow us to be able to access parts of our psyche, parts of our soul, parts of aspects of ourselves that are living in different timelines that we can, like I said, that we can access. And what Pluto does is it kind of gives us an entry point into the astrology wheel and goes, this is a really big part of the chart. It's the core of it, in fact. Everything within our existence requires a core, a main vehicle of thing that is motivating something to operate in a specific way. So with Pluto in the astrology chart and in this introduction, the first thing that I would want to get everybody to recognize is that we're dealing with soul awareness. Soul awareness, okay? It's like an iceberg. At the top of it, you see the small little place of Sun, Moon, Ascendant, and then at the bottom here, you've got the nodes of the Moon, and you've got Pluto. And everything comes from the roots up into the bottom over there. So it's fantastic that you're looking at Sun, Moon, Ascendant. And when you're new to astrology, that's really great because you're accessing parts of your personality, parts of descriptions of yourself. But when you want to start stripping away everything and start looking at what is actually manufacturing this life, then you look at Pluto. Then you look at the nodal axis. And you start to get this very strong feeling of your sense of journey, your sense of authenticity, your sense of spiritual path that it is that you're intending to walk. And what Pluto does is it gives you this entry point, gives you this ability to look straight at the chart and say, right, core, desires, what am I doing here? What is the main purpose of this existence? And so there's two ways that I like to explain Pluto. See it as unconscious emotional security attachments that you have to all circumstances. Whenever you have something that is unconscious and is emotionally secure, it's basically a feeling of empowerment, a feeling of knowing, a sense of like, I can enter this conversation that I'm having with somebody and feel very comfortable speaking as if I know stuff. That is an unconscious feeling of security that is allowing you to feel like you're safe and stable within this conversation. When you are challenged with your Pluto's evolution, which is why the series is called Pluto and Evolution, you are basically putting yourself in situations where there is no sense of security and there is no sense of empowerment because you've never ventured down that road. You don't know what it's like. So within Pluto, there's this dual desire of holding on to what it is that you know and feel and keeping along that road. And this will be generally what you feel you want to do with your life. And then there are the aspects of Pluto, which is usually the polarity point in this case, unless you have Pluto conjunct the North Node, where you need to integrate the opposite side of the astrology chart. So for me, I have Pluto in the 10th house. And so I'm very, very comfortable in the public arena speaking about things and doing this type of stuff. But there's also a part of me that recognizes that what it is that I'm not familiar with and what it is that I need to integrate into my existence to challenge my feelings of security is the polarity point, which is Cancer, the archetype of internal security, the archetype of the sense of emotional connection in that way. So the Pluto placement is about bringing both of them into the process so there's a balanced archetype. And the Pluto story is about entering your astrology chart and seeing where that paradigm is existing, where you are empowered, where you feel emotionally secure, and what do you naturally gravitate towards. Pluto placement in your house chart, and this will bring up all your karma, but then where you can also evolve as you choose to start making choices that are integrating more of the polarity point. Somebody with Pluto in the 1st and the 7th house needs to integrate more choices that are independent so that they can feel more alive within themselves versus feeling like they need to be complete in relationships. You understand how this works? And the best way that you can know that you're challenging or putting yourself in your Pluto evolution is whenever you make the choices in Pluto, there's resistance. There's resistance to change. There's resistance to moving in that direction because it's going, this is really awkward. This is really unsure. I'm really unsafe about this. It doesn't make me feel that way. There's a sense of security that's being challenged from the known. So it's a really powerful placement to understand, to psychologically merge with. The second thing that I have with Pluto itself is the desires of the soul. So what is basically creating this incarnation? What is forcing you to come back onto Earth to experience all these things? And it's usually these attachments towards these physical things that you have around you that bring you to recognize that there's something here that you're attached to, and you're learning to let go of that attachment by recognizing that it's not that that's giving you the source of fulfillment in your life. It's actually just about self-awareness and your own personal journey. And those two can be really, really easily explained in the sense that whenever you see a train, when you get on a train, you always start at one location, Pluto, incarnation. And put on the side of the train, you see these magnets. And as you go along this journey from point A to point B, these magnets start to attract circumstances and situations to you. And you kind of psychologically evolve through all of these circumstances. And then when you get to the end of the journey, you step off the train and the environment and lifestyle is completely different because you've metamorphosized. It is the metamorphosis of something. The other way that I like to see also Pluto itself is that it's this river that begins at the top of a mountain. And it's that journey that you have as you meander down this mountain all the way through to the ocean. Okay? And it's how you are shaped. Pluto shows you how you get shaped within your life and brings about the sense of awareness and understanding that is linked with it. Pretty neat, isn't it? Okay, everyone. So I really hope that you enjoyed this introduction video. I'd just like to let you know again that the reason why you're watching this is so that you can have an understanding of what Pluto symbolizes. It is this karmic story that allows you to understand what your unconscious emotional securities are to. It's the core of your chart. It's about choice, and it's about how you get shaped in your life. It's like the drummer in the back of the band. It's the most loudest noise, but you don't pay attention to it. You pay attention to the lead singer. And it's that story that is throughout your whole life that is changing you. And all those psychological trials and tribulations that force evolution. Pretty neat, isn't it? Okay, fantastic, guys. Jump straight into wherever your placement is in your Pluto. I highly recommend watching this series if you have Pluto moving through your 2nd house, Pluto moving through your 5th house, whatever it is. If wherever placement, so you get 3 videos here. You get to look where Pluto is in your house, where Pluto is in your generation. So I have Pluto in the 10th house, so therefore I watch Pluto in the 10th house. And then I'm a Pluto and Libra generation, so I'll watch Pluto in the 7th house as well. And I currently have Pluto transiting my my ninth house. So I would watch the video Pluto in the ninth and the 12th house to get a really overall perspective of where it is that I'm currently evolving. So the transit is the one that's currently happening for you right now. The house placement in the generation will tell you what are your karmic lessons. Okay? Fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you are interested in booking a reading with myself, in the description below is my website. Come over to there and share with me your Pluto story. I'd love to be able to understand your karma and maybe share with you my perspective on how to unravel that, okay? Other than that, guys, have a fantastic day. Take care. Bye-bye.